XRP holders, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Thank you for all your support. But let's get right into the nitty gritty and see what's really happening right now for XRP. So I wanted to start off the video a little bit different this time around to really kind of show you guys, the Google trends for XRP, really showing you, how many searches are really happening. And if you're looking at the Google trends, and this is the past 5 years, in the entire past 5 years, we have not seen this much spike for searches, which obviously kind of explains for itself because, we saw the price skyrocket. It was really, really exciting, and that brought in a lot of retail eyes. And of course, we did see this spike, but we haven't seen this amount of searches happening for XRP pretty much since December of last year and the beginning of this year. So what is this telling us? This is telling us that in a grand scheme of things, retail interest is not there right now for XRP. Yes, of course, I'm not saying there's none. There is definitely people that are paying attention to XRP, but it's mainly sophisticated investors, bigger players that are accumulating. And believe it or not, a lot of them are actually doing these transactions OTC, which doesn't reflect the price. And I do believe we will see this shift happening once again. I am very, confident in the fact that, we're going to see a lot of searches happening once again, for XRP. But at that time, I think the price of XRP will already be in the 23.6, heading towards all-time highs, which again really shows the people that are right now in XRP are early comers, in my honest opinion. But let's take a look at the markets. I'm sure you guys know the broader market on the 24-hour scale has been down a little bit because, of course, today's July the 4th. We have CME futures close, which, of course, does tend to have an impact on the broader market. But if you're looking at the last 1 hour, we are starting to see some sort of a bounce, which, of course, is always nice to see. The price of XRP right now, $2.23, down about 0.2% in Bitcoin. Comparative market cap holding nicely above the 131 billion, to be exact, 131.5 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume is at about $2 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So if Bitcoin hits $113,000, over $5 billion in short positions could be liquidated. Let that sink in. So could this really be a huge signal right in front of us that the price of Bitcoin is indeed heading towards $113,000? I'm not writing it off. Reason why I'm not writing it off is because, believe it or not, these market makers are well aware of that $5 billion that could be liquidated if the price of Bitcoin touches $113,000, which again would be at an all-time high for BTC. So could the whales really push, the bulls really push the price of BTC, in the next few hours to come to get to that 113? I believe so. I'm very confident that, we will see this 113, dollars, a new all-time high for Bitcoin coming in the very near future. And I think we are going to see these positions being liquidated because of the amount that this really is. This could bring in more excitement, of course. Looking across, look at this, shout out to Mr. Man. Now that the big, beautiful bill has been signed, the Treasury can move without legislative constraint. The IRS and every benefit-linked agency is green light to begin disbursing capital, refunding tax credits, and activating the system built quietly over the past 2 years. Digital wallets, real-time payment rails, ID-linked subsidies, and programmable compliance structure. This is the start for the next phase of economic control and the behavioral management in the language of prosperity. The phrase "promise made, promise kept" isn't for economic elites. It's for retail sentiment, especially the poor in psychology. I'm talking too fast. Apologies, guys. Meant to trigger consumer spending, credit applications, and digital wallet onboarding across housing, healthcare, auto, and small business sectors. Get ready, let the spending begin. And I know a lot of people are going to be saying, well, it's only benefiting, the big boys, the big companies, and also, small cap companies because there is an incentive. But I want to know from you guys in the comments down below what your personal thoughts are about this bill being passed. Look at this, a continuous reminder. Let's actually watch this video right here.
Safety. Well, let me ask you this. Will you do another ETF? How about an XRP ETF? I know you got Ether out there. How about XRP? Can you answer that?
I can't. And you don't want me to.
I do.
Well, I can't.
All right.
As we can see here now, that our good old friend Larry Fink has literally come out and said that, no, I cannot comment on whether or not we're going to do an XRP ETF. If he was so confident that it's not going to be under the pipeline, he would have said, no, we're not having that as planned. Believe it or not, XRP ETF filing is going on another level. We know multiple different asset managers are going, for this specific ETF that they're filing for, and I think it's inevitable. And as I've stated to you guys before, do you really think BlackRock is not aware, or Fidelity is not aware of what XRP is? They're more than aware. They have a huge team. They have researchers. They have analysts. And those guys are the ones that are aware, and that do take a huge part of the research, and also the in the meetings, really kind of presenting what these different assets are. I personally believe they are already in the stage of kind of thinking about it, because of course a lot of their competitors are coming on board, but maybe they want the SEC lawsuit to be completely over. And I think maybe that's when they come and announce, because believe it or not, their announcement, just the announcement itself that they're filing for an ETF, would be quite a large, impact. I'm sorry, it would be like a legendary move and could have a large impact on the price itself, just based off of the announcement that BlackRock is filing for an ETF. Look at this. Yes, cryptocurrencies may produce the world's first trillionaires in the next decade. Major the exponential growth coming from the altcoin sector will shatter all skepticism around digital assets as the legitimate investment. People ignoring crypto now are set to miss the largest wealth transfer in history. The wealth gap between crypto native and traditional investors will mirror the early internet boom, but with even more force. Early adopters of digital assets will get richer faster than the most savvy tech investors of the 1990s. And I think that's already actually happening. Moving forward, Ali chart says XRP appears to be forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern, potentially setting the stage for 15% breakout to the $2.65. And your boy Crypto ZX has been calling this out pretty much day in, day out. So if you're looking at the dominance over the course of the last 2 to 3 hours, we have seen a little bit of a drop within the dominance, and Bitcoin, I think, has pushed up back above 108,000. Beautiful. And we are on the way to close the daily candle above 108,000. If it's able to do that, amazing. We're still targeting new all-time highs very, very soon. If you're looking at XRP, did see a bounce, currently sitting at $2.23, looking amazing. Of course, it's going to have an impact to BTC. Bitcoin is the king of the market. Dominance, of course, is something that we shouldn't really be taken quite slightly. Those are factors people kind of overlook, but not on this channel. Love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for all your support. You guys are absolutely amazing. Cannot thank you guys enough for all your support. And I will see you later. It's been Crypto ZX, and peace out.